Hi guys, we are live. I'm Katya Gorbacheva with TotalBodyLab, and welcome to our biweekly Thursday clients and friends chat. So let's welcome the folks in the order of joining. Hi Michelle, hi Carol.
Hi.
Carol. I know there's
You're muted.
Wow, I hope I wasn't muted when I just launched. What?
Yeah, you just now.
Oh, just now. Okay. Sorry. Still figuring out the super fancy mic and technology. Um, anyways, I will let you guys take it away with the wins and things you want to share and the progress stuff. And I'll go after Michelle and Carol and Errol.
Go ahead, Carol. I was struggling this week to come up with wins. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I had many wins. The battle ribs.
Have you seen your bench?
Yeah, but I've done that before. So
the bar is here. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, okay. But my battle ribs felt good, which that I was struggling with those the first couple of weeks. So I feel like I killed it on battle ribs. So that was the one win that I don't know if I have any other wins.
Battle ribs are tough.
Yeah. So that's about it. Struggles. I don't know. I don't know about struggles either. I feel like I'm just sort of even keeled this week.
Okay. That's
not really any highs or lows.
That sounds healthy to me. Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
I struggled with wins too. I mean, I haven't missed a workout, so I guess that's a win. She's been doing her PT and everything. Yeah, so that's good. That's a win. Still struggling with my water intake, but other than that, I felt good. I feel like I'm stronger. I can actually do battle ropes, which I'm a little uncoordinated when it comes to them, and probably didn't have enough strength to actually make a move like they're supposed to. So the other night, I actually got a few comments of, "Hey, you can actually do those now." Yeah. So, yay!
No need to call for the ambulance.
No.
I would say, Carol, for you, lunges are a win because now you have these crazy lunges with jumps and lunges that go into a one-legged squat that I'm sure is your favorite exercise.
I actually don't mind those as much. They were much better. I felt better doing those than any of the other lunges that I've done, which is surprising, until I watched the video the first time and then realized how far forward I was leaning. So I was focused on that the second week.
Yeah, well, you weren't leaning forward this time. You could make it more challenging by slowing it down, just like I asked you to slow a bunch of other stuff down, but I'll just give you seconds next week. I'll just write, instead of writing slowly on whatever the portion of the movement, I'll just write 2 seconds when the bar is from the chest to like 2 inches above your chest, or like 2 seconds at the top of a lunge fully extended or something. I know I tend to speed up and do stuff fast. So I try to slow down with those lunges. I don't need it to be any more difficult. It's difficult enough. My legs are burning. So I don't need that to be more difficult, but I do try to slow stuff down, and I'll work on that more. Cool. Awesome. What about you, Errol?
Wins, I am less sick than I have been the past month. Struggle. Probably just lifting.
Like time, or you don't want to do it?
I think you cut out, but probably all of what you said.
Oh, I asked, like, what's the struggle with lifting?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd rather not do it. I'm also sick. So
yeah.
You hit the mute again.
Carol, what is this microphone that you gave me that just mutes me? I don't think it mutes if I touch it. That's crazy. Okay. Boy, gotcha. Yeah. Lifting wise, I feel you. Because my sister was here last week, and she came here from Israel. I haven't seen her for 3 years, and we had such a blast. But I feel like everything else kind of fell to the background, from like lifting to work. Even though I took her to the gym, I even invited her to the call because I wrote her program, and she started doing it. And we found things that she liked and didn't like in the gym. So unfortunately, it's already night in Israel, so I doubt that she'll join. She's studying for the bar right now, but she says hi to everybody. And her name is Anna. You can say hi to her in the group chat. She's really jet lagged. But yeah, she did sumo deadlift for the first time in her life. She did hip thrusts, and she weighs like 103 pounds, 47 kilos. So her goal is to get a Kim Kardashian butt, quote. You can imagine what a person who is about my height, I'm 5'6", and 47 kilos looks like. She's really skinny. But she finally like wants to train. You know, I've taken her to the gym before, and she'd be like, nah. And now she's excited. So yeah, I guess on her behalf, the win is that she made me write her a program and she started doing it. And I'm really excited for her. Wins on my part, oh boy, I did all my workouts also. Even though it was tough because I just wanted to do family things. But deadlift PR did not happen. My period started and everything fell apart. And I'm sure ladies can relate. There's times when you're like, all right, I can still lift now because I'm like only starting to get like tired and angry, but I missed that window. So I was just tired and angry, and then very angry after the PR did not happen. But okay, that'll be next time. Alexi is trying to get me to sign up for a meet, and I looked for meets maybe like in April or May. Wow, this sun is really awful. I'll just be a zebra. I hope you don't mind. Yeah, but I've looked at meets in the end of April and in May, and everything USAPL is just taken because people don't want to compete in USPA, right? So everybody just went to USAPL because of the scandal, and a lot of people quit USPA. A lot of meet directors quit USPA. So I was like, whoa. So yeah, I'm just looking for some intermediate meet, I guess, to do in the spring to like not lose the feel of the platform. Alexi says hi to everybody and also recommends to the people who don't have like super high goals to compete 3 to 4 times a year. I usually recommend that my athletes compete twice a year. Three to four times sounds like a lot, but that does kind of keep you in check all the time. That just means you can't really mess around, you know? So yeah, those are his hellos and his wishes. So yeah, if you know any good meets in the, I guess, on the East Coast, I wouldn't even say in the Southeast, like in the East Coast, maybe even Northeast, let me know. Maybe even another federation would do. Probably no other wins from me. Harsh, how are you? How was your week?
It was a bit hectic. It's like a lot going on with work. But yeah, I mean, the lifting was good. It's some PRs. I know what it feels like to not hit a deadlift PR. It's kind of miserable. But
yeah, I can relate.
Yeah. But my week was good.
How is bench feeling?
How's bench feeling?
Yeah.
When I went heavy, how did it feel? So I don't go heavy on bench often, and then when I do, I guess there's like a little bit of, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with the bar. Like sometimes I have like a tendency to like bring it down quickly and then push it back up just because, oh, it's something I can like, I know I can do many reps off. So like I don't like pay much attention to the descent. But then when it's heavy, I'm just like, holy shit, I don't want to bring it down fast because I'm afraid. And uh sometimes on that descent, I think like maybe I lose focus with respect to balance in my triceps, but maybe I'm just making shit up. But it's basically the descent. The descent is like, I'm not used to this. What am I doing? Um, I'm definitely not comfortable like trying something like bouncing it, which is what I would do if I'm just like, oh yeah, I got this. This is easy, right? Like I'm like scared. It's coming down, and I have to push it back up. And yeah, I don't know. That's I guess the thoughts on bench.
The reason I'm asking is because I'm looking at your 210 video right here that you sent us, and I can't tell if you got it, if a spotter got it for you.
Yeah, I was pretty annoyed with him, and I don't know. I didn't have it in me at that time to like go again. I was just like, all right, I got to get moving with the day because I still have deadlifts to hit. Um, so I don't know either. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Nice try though. Nice attempt.
Yeah, Well, I'll find out again, I guess, soon enough.
Cool. Caitlin, what's up with you? A lot is up with you.
Yeah, I think it was a good week. Work's busy, but like I was still able to do all my workouts and it felt good. It was Sunday. I went for like to test my PRs and see what weights I could do for the meet. So I hit PRs and everything, but I didn't hit like what I wanted to for the squat and bench. I hit failure, and I was like, I really thought I would get that last one, but I didn't. And then the bench, it was like a 2 hour, 45-minute workout at that point, so I stopped at it. At one point, I was like, I'm not going to go to failure. Like, I've done enough. So it was good, though.
Okay. Yeah, Caitlin hit some PRs, which made me really happy because you have a meet coming up. But what made me not happy is because you didn't try like one more deadlift that I totally thought you got. And I like wrote you the numbers and you're like, it was a long workout, like just screw it. And I was like, damn, like you're already warm, woman. It's right there. Like it's in front of you. Just add a little on the bar. And then you said you may be running out of weight.
Oh yeah. So I had like maybe 15 pounds of weight. Like I think I had 2 10-pounds, a 5-pound, or maybe I was using a 5-pound. I don't know, but I was almost out of weight. Like we were really close. I'm like, I need to buy more weight. So yeah, and I almost went for the next one, but like the way you wrote it, like because of the weights I have, I don't have certain ones that I can double up on. So I had to like do less of one and more of another, and then it kind of put me behind on the reps as far as weight goes. And I was like, all right, I've done the same amount of reps, but not the same amount of weight. And I'm like, do I do one more? Or do I just call it where I'm happy? I wanted to hit 300 and I did, so I was like, maybe I just call it here. But yeah,
I will give you a hack if you're running out of weights, and if you're running out of weights that are like small, like you don't have smalls, right? You don't have like 1 pound, 2 pound, whatever to make it perfect. Like however I write, it's always like I think 2 pounds shy or 2 pounds more, something like that. So I have a hack for everybody actually who goes to the gym, and like if you are competing and amount of kilos and the pounds is like slightly off, right? Because you can add 2.5 kilos in the competition. You can't add pounds. I have a hack for everybody. You take a sock and you fill it with rice. And it needs to be like a longer sock. So you basically fill it with rice, tie it up, and then you can put it on the barbell. So you can weigh it on your food scale, and it can be a pound. It can be like 1.5 pounds or however much you need. And yes, it looks weird to go with socks filled with rice to the gym or to wherever you're lifting. But listen, if you need to have a specific weight on the barbell, sometimes when you don't have the small plates or you can't buy them, like this is a really easy thing that you can just do in 10 minutes and head to the gym.
Yeah, I was looking at 1 pound weights just to because you're right, it's always 2 pounds off or maybe 3. I don't know. I was like, let me just get 2 pound weights. They don't cost that much. and
Right.
maybe like another set of 10s. I don't know, like.
Yeah, there's also this company, I think they're called Microgains, that has the plates that like clip on the dumbbell or clip on the barbell. And my client David has them. They're really great because you can clip them onto anything and they are adjustable. So they're like a crab, I don't know, claw. So they clip onto whatever. So we used them when I was lifting with Anna at his home gym because he also didn't have smalls, but he had those and it was fine.
I'll check that out. Oh, I see. Micro games. Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Well, Julie's not here, but we talked, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing her wins. So she was struggling with snatches. She was struggling bringing the arms like way behind her neck. It was always stuck like in the front. And when she was doing anything, clean snatches, she would want to tip over forward. But now she's trying to do that with a stick, and she can finally move her arms where she's stable. So she immediately is like, oh, hey, can I use the bar next time? And I'm like, no, you just got the stick. You can't just do like stick, bar, and then like heavy bar. Like, we're going to do the stick for a while. And actually, the reason why I programmed those for her with the stick or with the bar is because I want to open her hips a little bit for the sumo deadlift. And I want to add, I guess, control when she catches the bar or catches the stick. When she brings the hips down, because it's a really quick opening in the hips. And that's a similar movement to wedging into the bar in sumo. So yeah, I wish she was here to share that, but she was really excited that she got that. So that will help us bring her hips closer to the bar in sumo. Who else? Yeah, and I wish also Christy was here. Christy was traveling for a while and now she started going to the gym. But you know, it ebbs and flows. All right, cool. Oh yeah, and Dave is super happy that his delts are growing and people are noticing. Like at work, they're noticing that he's getting bigger. That hasn't been the case before. Be like, oh, have you been lifting? He's like, yeah, I've been lifting for years. And people are noticing like now. Cool. So we can get into our topics, whatever you guys had for today, whether that was, you know, questions or things to share, anything from nutrition to your workout situations. Take it away.
So I was going to ask, and I kind of ask you on the grips, on the different grips on bench.
Oh yeah.
And so what is the difference, and which grip should you use, and
How do you know?
And how do you know which one?
Right. So Michelle was using 60 centimeters on the barbell for the most of the time during bench, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's considered like medium grip. So on the competition barbell, on the stiff bar, you will have the little markings that are 81 centimeters apart. I don't know what's that in inches, but based on my waist measurements, it should be around 33 inches. Or maybe 34. I don't know. So if you grab wider, it decreases your range, right? You can only bench like this much if you're a short person with short hands. So you basically, you use more pecs, you're more like spread out, and you wouldn't have to go super deep and use as much triceps, as much shoulder. So there's a couple of things we keep in mind during bench when you put your hands on the bars. What's your, I guess, range of motion? What's the strength of, you know, your anterior deltoids and pecs, which are used a lot more when your hands are wider. So if you want to use kind of evenly triceps and pecs, you would bring your hands in. If you want to use mainly triceps, you bring your hands all the way in, 40 centimeters, right? So I will have, for example, separate bench day that is only close grip. And I will do, you know, different angles, incline, and then I'll finish it with triceps. And you may notice this in your workouts as well. Like if you have wider bench, you may have something that's like a lat pull down or a wide row or something like that. That's more like back focused. So you use more back as well. which we try to do to control the barbell on the way down and not to just lose it and deflate and collapse. Right? Bring it down slowly, maintain control from the back, and really push with the pecs as much as you push with the triceps. So if your triceps is stronger, you may benefit from bringing your hands a little bit more in, but usually because triceps is a little more developed than like pecs, and most lifters who are women and short and haven't done like too much bench, your natural desire would be like to first start with something closer. I would bring people wider and see how that goes. And in a couple of weeks, like if you really hate it, if that doesn't work, then we'll switch back to something closer. But typically the progress of getting used to wide bench is like exponential. It's super quick. I think Caitlin did that, right? You used to bench closer and then I widened you out and it just, you kept increasing strength.
Yeah, it was really difficult at first. Wide.
Yeah.
And then you had me go back like narrow the other way. And then now going back to wide, it's so much easier.
Yeah, I tried it the other night and I was like, oh, I can't do this. It didn't feel as strong.
Right.
I definitely needed to take weight off the bar to be able to feel like I was doing it properly. But
is one of them better or worse for your shoulder? Since I have shoulder issues, bench sometimes hurts. So would one be easier on my shoulder? Closer or wider?
What would be easier on your shoulder is grabbing neutral. So if you have a quote unquote DNA bar, I don't remember the official name for it, but it's the bar that has all kinds of, it looks like one thing of the DNA.
Yeah, we just got one at our gym. So we have one now. We haven't used it though.
Amazing. I would use that. I would use that for sure. It's definitely better for shoulder, but you can't use that in competition.
Right.
So it's something like you use a different bar for squats, right? You use an SSB bar.
Yeah.
You can't use it in competition. It's definitely better for shoulders, but it's just a different bar. So if you're lifting just to get strong, yeah, by all means, use parallel grip on like everything, because that's the most natural grip for us, right? We don't want to go like this when we extend fully. We want to keep shoulder neutral because that's how it goes.
Right.
Errol, I think you've used that grip when you were healing your shoulder too, right? Yeah.
Are you?
Share some other things from your past week of workouts, if you don't mind.
Fine. Okay. This is very specific for my workout, but I have on the same day, I have clean and jerks and then full cleans. Is there a reason they're in that order? So what's the first, because this is what happens. I end up doing the clean and jerk and I start at 45 pounds and then work my way up. And then I take all the weight off the bar and start back with 45s just to do the full cleans, which is the first half of the clean and jerks. So I almost feel like I'm going back. So I'm just curious as to why it's in that order. And is there a way I could mitigate those,
Right. Yeah. So you're basically warming up. I would ideally, if we had more time, I know you guys don't have too much time to work out, but ideally I would start with jumps like we did at the Swole Sunday when you guys came to the gym.
Yeah.
We just did jumps, and then we did jumps with the barbell, and then we did jumps with the barbell and the shrug, and then we did jumps with the barbell and the shrug and slightly kind of cleaning it. And then we did overhead presses with the barbell. So we did pieces of the movement, then we put it in together. So I feel like you doing first one movement and then the other goes from like easy to hard. And it makes sense to not go all the way too hard with the weight that's currently on the barbell, but to drop it to 45 pounds first and try to throw it above your head completely. And you're like, all right, my brain has switched. It's a different movement. And then you pile on the weight. because you're already warm. So you basically require less warm up for the barbell being fully above your head. Right.
But the clean and jerk is first though. So you're having me throw it over my head before doing the full cleans. Is that, I don't know. That's what I just struggle with it. And I'm like, I can just superset the two of these and do 45 at this and then 45 at that. And I'm like, but that's a lot. So I just didn't know if there was a reason the clean and jerks were first, and could I do the cleans first?
I would not. You can if you want, because they're harder. The clean and jerks are first because I want for you to throw it here first, right? And then do the shoulder press rather than throw it above your head. Throwing weight above the same weight above your head is significantly harder than throwing it to the shoulders. Yeah.
No, not snatches. I don't throw anything over my head. No, there's no throwing it up there. You saw that Sunday, I was scared to do that with the barbell. It's just either a press or it's just straight up to here. So maybe I'm doing it wrong completely.
I'll look at your program again, but I remember, I just don't have it in front of me. I remember that I put them in the order that kind of progresses from the less complex movement to more complex movement, for which you would need to warm up the rest of your anatomy trains.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I really wish you guys had a leg press where you could put legs wider apart.
The one that I did the other night.
Yeah, and then Carol sent me a video of doing a leg press where her legs were like super close together.
That was only because I read the description and it said to put your feet about shoulder width apart. I like to do my feet typically high and wide.
You muted.
So when I read the thing, I'm like, I guess she wants it closer. So the only reason they were closer is because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, but I'm fine to go wider with them.
Okay. Do you have one that goes wider?
If you watch the video I sent, I think that's the one. That's the one that has the widest.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the video. I just didn't see that it could be really wide. Let me pull it up again. Gotcha.
It's the second leg press video I sent you. The first one does not have a large plate to press on. So you do have to have a narrow stance.
Is it the machine or is it the hack squat?
The machine.
So yeah, the machine you can't get as wide with, but the angled one,
yeah,
has a.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is everybody doing in their PT? Or stretching or recovery things?
I'm doing good. So
Good job, Michelle.
this is probably, I've got more in this week than I have before. I was struggling with it a little bit, but it's now becoming a routine. So
Awesome.
Well, actually, I've been pretty bad with stretching, but okay.
It sounds like you can afford to.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's again very specific to my program, but I've
That's
been
fine.
doing a lot of these deadlifts where the deadlift begins on some kind of platform. Like basically, I do it with on plates, like so it's higher than normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why? Like my sticking
Block
point,
pulls?
I feel, is like the other thing where it's like to get it to that point. Like once it's at that point, I'm not gonna fail. But like getting it to that point is what I struggle with.
That's a different exercise. I think actually Errol has that tonight, right? In his program.
Yeah, that's like
yeah.
deficit, right? That's I guess what you guys call that.
Block pulls. Block pulls are sometimes harder, sometimes easier. They were easier at first for me after I like reached a certain level with my weights, and then now they're just harder all the time. Because I actually, when I tried to PR on deadlift yesterday, I couldn't pick it up from the floor twice, and once I could pick it up from the floor, but I couldn't lock it out. So, anyways, I guess I'm answering your question from a little around. If your breaking point is the floor, if that's where you struggle, you obviously need to do complete pulls. Like just doing block pulls is not going to fix that issue. However, that fixes some stopping points that are midway through, right? So if you like decelerate a lot during the deadlift, and that builds strength in your lockout. So you can do deficits, you can do block pulls, you can do different portions of the deadlift separately to build strength in those ranges. And then again, put it all together and be stronger in the end. I don't think each like particular movement is necessarily useful or not useful just in and of itself, but together you do deadlifts from the floor still, right? So we may tire your lockout and then do deadlifts from the floor, right?
Okay.
Errol, do you want to add anything about block pulls? Because I know you have those.
I had a issue with my lockout, and I was prescribed block pulls to improve my bar path relative to, like my starting position. And it's, for me, they've gotten easier. They're super hard before. So I would say that my bar path is probably improved.
Sorry, when you say block pulls, you are on the block, or is the thing starting on a block? So it's
No, so if you're on a platform and you're pulling from like an extended range of motion, it's called a deficit.
yeah, okay.
But if you put the barbell and or the weights on top of something, so it's effectively a shorter range of motion, those are block pulls.
So which ones were you referring to, Harsh?
Yeah, I was referring to block pulls.
Right.
And you do conventional?
I am a conventional deadlifter. Yeah.
And you did block pulls with sumo, yeah, Harsh?
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
You also tried, like, you're lifting sumo, right, Katya?
I tried what?
You tried PRing on sumo.
I tried what? Sorry, during sumo?
PRing on sumo, is that correct?
I did, yeah. I was attempting 177.5, but well, it wasn't there for me that day. The gravity won.
Yeah, so you also struggled at the beginning, right? You didn't get it off the ground. That's what you
It's
said.
just that day, which is weird because like the week before, I did 173 triples sumo from the floor, like no problem. So I'm sure I got it. Like I'm sure I got 400 pounds, but maybe that's why my coach wants for me to do competitions, because there's not enough fire under my ass to like really take it off the floor. You know. Caitlin, how are you doing with your recovery and your shoulder?
So the I don't want to call it a workout. It wasn't really a workout, but we had to do this morning, like helped immensely, but it was kind of short lived. So I've been icing every day, multiple times a day. It doesn't really seem to be changing. It's not getting worse, but I don't necessarily know that it's getting better either. So
Yeah, you did PT. I give you like PT instead of a workout kind of thing.
yeah.
Because you're deloading. But it helps temporarily usually, but it sounds like you're inflamed, and when you're inflamed, the thing that our body needs is rest. And when you can't afford rest because you're going to competition and you're just in this super high strung peak status, like you can't really do much but try to ice and try to like not move it around too much to aggravate it.
Yeah,
So
it's not so bad. Like it doesn't like hurt unless I'm like, trying to do the thing and then I mean, as long as I don't try and go too heavy at the meet, I'll be fine. I'm not really that
Yeah.
worried about it. Just rest after. I am a little annoyed though because like I can feel myself getting stronger at the bench, but that's holding me back. And I'm like, oh, so close.
I wouldn't say it's really holding you back. It's your bench looks strong and it looks even. So we can focus on resting the shoulder a little bit, doing some neutral grip things,
Yeah.
and recovery a little bit before we find another meet.
Oh, this is a shame. I was actually looking while we're on the thing. There's an all women's one like in my town in September.
With which federation?
The USPC. I know you said you hadn't heard of it before, but that's the one I'm competing with on the 25th.
Maybe I'll have to look at it because USAPL is just full. It's just full.
Yeah.
Michelle and Carol, are you considering competing soon? I know Harsh said not until June or not until July. Yeah.
Good.
I have not considered it, but I would consider it. I think Carol could do it.
For everything?
I don't think I would be comfortable doing squat, but
Okay.
bench, yeah, I would do that.
I don't really have any desire at this moment to, and I know that when I'm training for a competition, I'm much more dialed in, but I don't, like I've said before, I don't really care about lifting all that heavy. So, and I worry that I also stress less about my food when I'm lifting heavy because I know if I have more weight on me, so the last powerlifting, I just ate whatever I wanted because I just stayed big. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather lose weight than lift more weight. Rather lose weight than lift weight. So
She's crazy strong regardless. So
Yeah, that's true. For how many did you do like a plate today?
4. It wasn't today, but yeah, I did 135 for 4.
you've done? She's done it for 10.
I did it 10 once. So, but that's when my shoulder was aggravating me and I had to stop going heavy with it for a while. So, but yeah, I mean, I know it's whatever we're, better at that we don't want to do, but I mean, I would sacrifice lifting heavy if I could lose weight. I'm more focused on losing weight.
Yeah, no, it sounds reasonable and it's interesting. So I really wish Julie was here because she went to her first powerlifting meet this weekend. Past weekend? Sorry?
I said, was it this weekend?
It was last weekend. Julie went to her first powerlifting meet,
Okay.
and she's been worried about her weight because before she did bodybuilding, and bodybuilders' mentality is just be lean, be lean. But now we're powerlifting. She signed up for a meet, and she was at the competition. She called me after. She was like, Katya, everybody's like so much bigger than me, and I'm like, yeah, they're powerlifters. They don't care.
Yeah.
Right. So she was kind of worried that like she's gaining weight, and she gained maybe like 2 pounds or not much. So it like fluctuates around whatever her maintenance is, which is probably the same for the majority of the people who are like kind of content with their weight and we just want to get stronger. But she kind of like relaxed on like the looks and everything finally, and I was like, yes, because if you just worry about getting stronger, like, yeah, that makes sense. But then Carol, like you were saying, if your primary goal is not getting stronger and you're more dialed in on losing weight, it's a different program, and something's got to sacrifice a little bit usually if you've been lifting for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
Harsh, have you been getting bigger? How are you dealing with your, I guess, weight versus weight on the barbell? Because you told me before that like you needed to lose weight.
Yeah, I mean, I think like when you met me in that first competition, the only competition that I've ever done, but I like tried to lose weight for that. Um,
Really?
yeah. I think like I was like 131 at that point, and now, yeah, you put me on this like diet where I just had to basically eat all day, and I definitely gained weight. But I think like now I'm at like 135, 136. I guess I don't know. I'm okay with it. I think like if I was to compete, the category I would compete in is like, I think it's like 59 kilos, so that's 130 pounds. Um, so I would look to cut eventually if and when I do compete, but that's not in the near future. But yeah.
I think I'd like to cut for my next one
Okay.
to the 675.
We are slowly going in that direction, Caitlin.
Wait, what is 675?
It's 148.8. The UPSPC I think is a little different. Yeah, I kind of stalled out, but I'm not mad about it because it's not going anywhere.
Well, we are like literally about to compete, so wait. It is right now not the matter of focus because you've signed up for the weight that you are, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like I'm still within that range, but I know like as soon as it ends, I'm like I think I'm going to start paying attention.
Yep. As soon as it ends, we can add a little bit of cardio, a little bit of steady state. I know, but no. Well, how is it gonna get off you then?
I know. And I like food, so I guess I got to do a little bit.
Okay. With powerlifting, it's tricky. It depends on how you recover, but I'll tell you this. I will always add cardio first before I remove food for people. And only if people are like, nah, I will just not do anything, but I will restrict my eating, then I'm like, fine. But you always feel better and look better if you add activity before you remove calories. I'm telling you that if your body can recover, but there is a limit that your body can take before they're like, my joints feel like crap, my knees and my feet, like I just can't do it. Like you don't need to be doing 2 hours of cardio a day. Well, by adding cardio, I mean like let's start adding like half an hour 3 times a week. See what that does. Okay, is that working? Cool. Like we're not changing it. Let's add 20 minutes. Like it's really not much.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that's what I've been doing at my last bodybuilding prep. My first bodybuilding prep, I was doing so much cardio, but I was also doing bikini. I was doing the smallest, skinniest category. And then my second bodybuilding prep, when I was doing figure, my cardio was 15 minutes 3 times a week, and then 20 minutes, I think 4 times a week, which is really not a lot if you think about it.
I used to be a runner, so I run all the time, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Caitlin. 5 minutes is too much cardio.
Like I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. But when the weather gets nicer, it's not so bad. You just go to a park and whatever.
Do you guys have dogs?
Oh yeah, and one of them loves walks. So yes, But the problem is he wants to sniff everything. So I'm running, and I'm like, oh god, you gotta go over here now.
Does he love to run?
Yeah, but he's little. Like,
okay.
So like he can't. I mean, he can probably do 30 minutes, but.
Okay.
Like
Get a husky. I can let you borrow mine.
No, that's way too much energy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you stay fit is either you run or all your books are chewed. Like I can literally bring you books from my shelf next time, and there's more books that my dog's read than the ones that she hasn't.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
That's funny. Oh, also, I have the things on my table. I totally forgot to mention. So Caitlin, you sent me soap before. I know you make handmade soap, and you sent me like a gift and a card. And I know I send you guys stuff all the time, but a lot of people just say thanks. Julie sent me a calendar. She apparently is a photographer, so you can find her on Etsy at art ALOS Plan Eats. I think that means a los planetas, or something in Spanish, like all of the planets. So I can post it in the group chat later. But yeah, she does amazing photos of birds in the wild. So she just has a store, and she sent me a calendar that's her photos. That was super cool. It started in January, obviously, so she meant to send it earlier, but they're just absolutely gorgeous birds. So yeah, any of y'all that have sidekicks or businesses, the Veg Fest season is starting. So our first vegan event is going to be mac and cheese cook-off here in Triangle. That's sold out. And then we're going to Florida, we're going to Georgia. It's in the Southeast, basically. So if you have any volunteering desire, you can come and volunteer and hang out with us. If you have a side thing that you do, from massage to taking photos to making soap, let me know. And you can come and be a vendor or be a sponsor. And it's super fun events. I think we're going to do 8 or 9 this year. And the website is, I'll leave it in the comments. Veg Fest Expos. There it is. You obviously don't have to be vegan to come to this. There's just a bunch of food and a bunch of local businesses.
Carol just asked that question. I just checked to make sure we were on mute, because she just said, "Do you have to be vegan?"
Yeah, we check. We take your blood actually before you enter, when you pay the thingy. No, I think actually all events are free this year. I think we used to do like ticketing last year for some events where we had to like rent a baseball stadium or something, but this year they're all free. They're donations to sanctuaries, and yeah, they're fun. You don't have to be vegan. A lot of the vendors aren't vegan, but you're only allowed to sell vegan items because people who come, that's the only thing that they're sure everything has like no gelatin, things like that.
I have a random question.
Yes.
So I just looked at what has been written in my workouts for the coming weeks.
Oh boy.
And I think I just finished what is week 6, day 3. Week 6, day 3 was what I did yesterday when I hit PRs. And then there's a week 8, day 3, which is kind of exactly the same, but do more PRs. Okay, so I'm stoked. This is so much fun. Is this gonna keep happening?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. You may be a genetic freak that Alexi is like, all right, let's torture this one. He said he doesn't want to compete. Well, let's squeeze some PRs out of him. No, I'm joking. I'm trying to open your program right now to see what's up. Because I don't write your workouts. Alexi does. I was writing your nutrition for the last how many weeks. And then you told me you don't want to do nutrition anymore because you don't like to eat. So
What?
Yeah, I mean, that can happen. So which day did you do PRs?
Week 6, day 3. And then
Okay.
week 8, day 3. Basically,
okay. Then you have a little
week 8,
break
day
in
3 is
between.
the same cycle. What's up?
Then you have a little break in between. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is this gonna keep going?
No,
I'm
I
done.
don't think so I'm not sure
Okay.
why you have more PRs, but my guess is that you like them and you continuously keep asking, can you just max out? Can you max out on things? So a good reward mechanism to keep you doing the volume and the rest of the stuff that you actually need to do to grow your strength is to give you PRs here and there. So you're like, this is great. This is exciting. I'm going to keep going. You gotta put in the personality in there. You can't just be like, oh, this is a program that works for most people, so I'm going to give it to Harsh. But if we spice it up with some PRs, that's just my my take on what I've heard so far, because I haven't written your program. Yeah, spice it up every once in a while. Why not?
Yeah, sounds good.
Plus, you don't have any upcoming meets. So another reason could be like this is a good time to test. If you're like in your peak form, everything is looking good, you're not losing weight, you're sleeping fine, you're not stressing, you're not doing too much cardio, work is fine, then it may be a good reason to test. So then we have something to calculate your percent maxes from. Yeah. So like even when I don't compete, I test every once in a while. Not too often, but it helps because my percent maxes change.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, congrats on outdoing me on bench.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, I think so because mine is like 200 pounds or 201.
Okay. You still got me on squats. Like you're far superior. But,
Last questions or any final thoughts?
Good ideas for what food I should bring to the meet.
Yes. Actually, I will probably let me make a note. I need to write you.
Besides those protein cookies, I got.
Yes. Actually not protein heavy. Probably carb and fat heavy on the
Okay.
day of the meet because you won't be able to like metabolize the protein and turn it into muscle on the day of the meet. So on the day of the meet, you need like think unhealthy stuff, you know, sugar, candy, muffins that are like carbs and fat and sodium. You know, salt is a great electrolyte. So you'll need to not like eat and drink too much, but still be full, right? So basically, anything that anybody's told you is a terrible thing to eat and it's fast food and it's full of calories and sugars and it's bad for you, probably a good thing to eat on the meat.
Okay.
I personally bring Pedialyte for electrolytes. I bring baby Pedialyte that's in the bottle. I don't like the ones that are flavored because they taste like ass. I like the neutral flavor one or no flavor one that is baby Pedialyte because it doesn't anything baby doesn't have crap in it. Anything for baby, right? So I bring that, and food wise, I would just get like whatever the vegan muffins I can get at the local like co-op or Whole Foods or whatever. Whole Foods is generally a good thing when you're traveling because they always have vegan stuff. They always have tasty like buffet, and you know when they're open, they're kind of reliable. I don't remember. You're in Virginia.
Yeah,
You're in
there's a Whole Foods. Everything's in Virginia Beach, so there's a Whole Foods here. And
Okay, great. Well, Whole Foods, like Aldi, any kind of other store that has, you know, a buffet selection, fresh bakery. I do bring a protein bar usually. So I bring something that has protein because it keeps me satiated, not because I'll be able to like use that protein. Um, let's see. You're not cutting weight, so you can take all your creatine, all your vitamins. I will normally make rice, like white rice, with a bunch of salt and a bunch of peanut butter. So just make sure it doesn't taste disgusting because you put too much peanut butter in there. I've done that before, but it's gonna be like super dense, super high calorie and high fat, right? Like quick carbs, but still some fiber. It's like not Coca-Cola, you know. Um, let's see.
But I do like almost like puffed rice, like a Rice Krispie type thing, or are you talking about
People
like
eat that a lot in meats. That has never satisfied me personally, but if that works for you, bring that. I see people eating that all the time.
okay?
Yeah.
And
I don't think they're vegan though.
well, like the ones with marshmallows aren't, but like if I just made my own, it probably would be.
Yes.
I was just thinking, like, I didn't think of this before. How long does a meat normally take?
A day.
Like
8
if
a.m. till about 3 p.m.
okay, that's fine.
Depending on how many people and how they run it. If they really are slow and suck, it could be until 8 p.m. I've been
Yeah.
on meets that, yep, they like last person to go on the platform is closer to like 7:30 p.m. and everybody's exhausted and like, holy shit. But it depends on the organizer. So I don't know about the federation that you signed up for. The majority of the meets that I've been to have been kind of timely. Maybe one or two were not, but like the thing is, you never know. probably my number one recommendation is bring enough water, because you don't know how far or bring like a big water jug. You don't know how far is the water fountain going to be. So at least bring enough water, bring like some easy and quick palatable things that your stomach is not going to hurt from. Fruit is not necessarily like useful, but I bring like apples and bananas because otherwise my stomach is just gonna hurt if I only eat candy, so I'll have like rice and like an apple and like candy and a banana. So it's pre-workout if you need any, only the stuff that you have tried before. Do not bring any new stuff that can potentially give you a stomach ache.
Okay.
Carol, Michelle, Errol, you've competed before. Maybe you have something to recommend.
I'm not vegan, so I don't think any of my recommendations would really help. Yeah. You kind of mentioned some of the things that I have anyway.
So for me, I mean, being diabetic, I have to come at it a little different. I definitely need the carbs in case my blood sugar goes low, but I have to have some protein so it doesn't just go up and down all day. But my main thing is just test it out beforehand. So make sure you're not eating anything new. I would maybe take a day and eat some of the stuff and make sure it doesn't make you sick if you're planning on taking it, or take stuff you've already used when you work out. Like, I mean, I do use Rice Krispie treats a lot to get my blood sugar up, but protein bars, Rice Krispie treats. I mean, those are the things I take.
Yeah, candy,
granola bars.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Those are all good. I agree.
All right, cool.
I don't bring seitan normally because that's like too high protein and it like takes a while to digest. Things that are like easy to digest.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I got there's definitely enough stuff. Thank you.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, I feel like we're coming to a wrap. Thank you guys for showing up. And I'm going to remove the people from the stream in the order of joining. Thank you, Michelle and Carol. And remove from stream. Thank you, Errol. Bye, Caitlin. And bye, Harsh. Thank you guys for joining the Total Body Lab team call. That is biweekly on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I will see you in 2 weeks. My name is Katya Gorbacheva. If you have any questions about whatever we have talked about, you can leave them in the comments. And I will gladly answer, or just message me on any of the social media of your convenience. Bye.